Hey there, guys. It's Ian. Before we get started, I suppose I should address a little something which those of you who follow us on Twitter will already be aware of. This show is my last show as permanent co-host of Dude and a Monkey. To be honest, you may have got a sense of it coming in the wins just through how I am, and I'll in all honesty, if I'm being frank, I think that some of the stuff I say on this show is kind of evidence of it. So I took the decision yesterday, as I record this, Sunday 20th of May. Had a bit of a tweet, admittedly drunk tweet storm on Friday evening, which I've now deleted, not because I didn't agree with it, but just because it was an awful lot of tweets. And I don't know. Yeah, absolutely nothing to do with Mark, and Mark could not have been better about this. And I'm sure Mark will talk about that in the future because the show will be continuing. Which is great. I think I'm very, very proud of Mark for doing that. To be honest, but he could have just like knocked it on the head. But he was like, no, fuck it. I still like. He still obviously feels like he has shit that he can say, which is of worth. Which for me myself, I don't think I do have that much anymore. And you know, it's been over a decade of podcasting and. At least in this field, I don't have the spark anymore. It is what it is. Getting home from work and sticking a film on is to be honest the last thing from my mind most nights now. But I've got a lot of stuff going on at work at the moment, and it's all like really promising stuff. But it is good, and this. Recording with Mark doesn't feel like work. The stuff around it does, though. That's the thing. Recording with Mark and Noel and whoever else we have on the show, and Becky, and Steve, Andrew, none of that is work. But the stuff that we kind of have to talk about because it's a film show isn't really stuff I'm super interested in talking about anymore. And in all frankness, I was close to doing this about a month ago, and I talked to Noel and Mark about it, and I kind of thought it might have been a blip, but I don't think it was. And we've tried stuff. I've tried stuff to kind of like engage myself, and it's not really been happening. But I think after, frankly, I'm a bit mardy at the start of the show this week, so enjoy that. But I think I loosen up, and I to be honest, by the end of the episode, it's kind of like the way. Being able to kind of choose when to bow out of this kind of thing, I'm pretty happy with how I bow out at the end of this episode. So, like I say, Mark is continuing. I think I've got a good idea of who he's going to have on as pretty much permanent co-host. I certainly hope permanent anyway. And I mean, like Mark's also said, if you just want to break and come back on, great. I'll be honest, if the show's going to go in the direction that I think it's going to go in, I think it will be better without me. And I'm not saying that as a fucking smallest violin in the world kind of thing. It will be. I think a more entertaining show. I think it will be a more insightful show, and the dynamic will be brilliant if it goes in the direction I think it's going to go in. For what it's worth, and for those interested, the video game streams will be continuing. Literally tonight, Mark and I are doing another part of A Way Out, and I don't feel this has affected my relationship with Mark whatsoever. Dude's one of, if not my best friend. and to be honest, a lot of the people I met through podcasting are, Noel, Jordan, Mike, and I talk pretty much every day. Even though Jordan, admittedly, doesn't really watch films anymore, and he's happy with his life, and so that's the thing. And like I say, Mark has not given me any shit whatsoever. He's tried to suggest things about making it work, and I mean, like, we're talking about like going a bit more into just kind of like other general topics. I mean, you may have noticed the show a couple of weeks back was a large chunk of it was about football. I think it was the one with the Beyond Skyline review, and it's just like I don't think people go to this show for that. It's a film podcast, and I think that advertising ourselves as a film podcast, but then just like going on non-film tangents for like the majority of the episode just isn't the way that people would want. I don't think anyway. Will I do podcasting in the future? I don't know. I am just looking forward to not having to watch stuff. I mean, I'll be honest, I've watched 3 films in the last week, and one of them was because I felt like I had to watch something to discuss on the show. And I'm kind of looking forward to not feeling beholden to that, and frankly, spending a bit more time with Lottie and Donna. Like having a free evening in the week would be nice. I'm doing a lot of overtime at the moment, and being around them as much as I'd like to be has been an issue. And again, Donna's not giving me any shit for that at all. She's been great. But yeah, so that is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to stop boring you. At Ian Loring, like I say, the video game streams will continue. I'll be doing that probably at the same kind of output I've been doing recently, so at least a few times a week for those interested. If you're not, fare thee well. And I look forward to coming on when I feel like I'll have use. So yeah, there you go. Thanks very much, and on with your regularly scheduled Dude and a Monkey.
Hello.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to episode 255 of Dude and a Monkey. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I am joined by
Mark Foster. Hello, everybody.
Yes, very good. Later, we will be joined by the comic book correspondent Noel. But he's not here yet. I don't know.
I can't work out if you were Delroy Lindy out of Devil's Advocate then, or Count Dracula.
I was going for Count. The Count.
What's he called? From the Count from Sesame Street.
Yeah. So I don't know why. Yes, hi. It's episode 255. Noel's not here yet because of work issues. So he's going to be with us for the last 25% or so of the podcast.
Yes.
So for the first 75%, you've got us. Now, why is Noel on? Is it the new film by Apachapong Weersafakul? No.
Nope, it's not.
Is it? Is it the new one by Jane Campion? No.
It's not.
No. Is it a 3-hour Hungarian film about a goat? No. Which is surprising.
Because he loves goats.
He does love goats. The Men Who Stare at Goats. That was the name of his and his father's dual autobiography.
It was indeed.
Yeah. But no.
The film Goat was about his college experiences.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not here yet, but when he is here, we'll talk about Deadpool 2 because it's a comic book film. And before that, we're gonna talk some John Woo. We're gonna talk a bit of Manhunt, which we were supposed to do last week, but we took a week off because fuck you, nobody pays us.
The amusing thing there is we did actually go off because my work was shit and I had somebody called in sick, and to be fair, the person was in hospital, so they were genuinely ill, but it just meant that we couldn't record the night we were going to record. Then what Ian just said there was literally, I apologised to Ian for putting him out for saying we were going to record on one night and then not being able to do it, and then did also put but they don't pay for it, so fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, we put the Greatest Showman commentary out, and I think we've had 3 downloads, so that it feels worth it. Yep. Brilliant. Thank you to those 3 people, by the way.
We do hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at yourselves. I shouldn't fucking say that, should I? It's fine. It's fine. We don't do it for the money. We don't do it for the money. Why? I mean, Jesus Christ, if we did, we're fucking idiots.
Yeah. We'd be even poorer than we actually are.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. We've had some stuff on the YouTube channel. Ian Shits Himself is full force as I wander around a room trying to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do with a shadow puzzle.
Becky's very much enjoying Ian Shits Himself.
Yeah, but to be fair, when Resident Evil 7, when it's doing the scary stuff, I don't like it. I think I just repeatedly say I don't like it. So yeah, that game is something. And we've also done part 3 of A Way Out: The Damn Experience.
Which I will say, I think I speak for both of us here, we're having a blast doing that, actually. It's a lot of fun.
That fucking game is so much fun. It's ridiculous how enjoyable that thing is.
Yes.
Just in goofy ways. And yeah, I think that game is only about 5 or 6 hours long, so I don't actually think we've got that long left.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. Apparently, the ending is quite divisive with people. So, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, A Way Out. So all 3 parts are on the YouTube channel so far. You don't have to pay for that. We don't ask anybody for money on that. It's all good. We'd be doing it anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And we're looking for suggestions about other games that we can play co-op. It's got to be on PS4. But yeah, we're looking for suggestions for other things, so that would be good. Runny gunny shooty, I think, would be fun. I don't know what runny gunny shooty, but
I'm sure we'll find one.
Yeah, we'll find a runny gunny shooty. That'll be good. So yeah, what else have we got? Again, I'm ever so sorry. I've kind of started this slightly low energy, so let's perk this up. We'll do some trailers. We'll do some what we watched. I'm sure we got a few things. It has been a couple of weeks since we recorded. Yeah. What else? What else is there? Cannes happening.
Cannes happening. Yeah.
A lot of protests. A lot of protests. A lot of girls on film T-shirts. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of those about, which is cool because I've got one. Who have you got?
I have Isabelle Huppert.
Very good.
I'll be getting another one because they're really quite nice T-shirts. I quite like them, and it's the girls behind it. I had a minor contact with them, and they seem pretty cool. And they're doing, for any T-shirt that's spotted in Cannes at the moment, they're doing 30% off that T-shirt.
Oh, that's pretty solid, eh?
Yeah, and I think they did some special ones for Christmas where they gave a certain amount of money to charity for every one they sold. And it's a decent amount of money that they raised. So yeah, it's pretty cool for that. Kristen Stewart took her shoes off on the, what is it?
Yep.
Red carpet, which I'm told is a protest. What I think to the dress code policy.
Oh right.
But then what's kind of cool about that is that she hasn't come out outright and said it is a protest against that. She's just kind of done it and left it there, and people can take what they want from it. If it is a protest, then it's quite nice that it's not being, I'm doing this for this, and look at me, and hashtag take your shoes, and it's something she's walked and gone, do you know what, fuck this. And that's pretty cool. Lars von Trier continues his descent into, at some point people are going to go, is he a bit of a dirty old man now? Because I have issues with von Trier in the sense that he's not a provocateur. He's just a prick who happens to have a very good eye in certain films, but I think he's just a bit of a prick. And I think the weird thing is, 10 years ago, I was super into all of this quite controversial filmmaking, and like I said, this what we'd be deemed as provocative filmmaking. I was well up for it, and now I'm kind of finding myself getting a little bit cynical and bored of it, if that makes sense.
I 100% agree with that.
I'm going to also not just point the finger at Lars von Trier. I'm going to point the finger at a filmmaker that I actually really do have a lot of time for, in Gaspar Noé. Because Gaspar Noé, as we know, he has pretty much everything to do with all of his films. And so the poster for his new movie, Climax, which I will say the reason why I'm intrigued by it is it's 94 minutes long.
Arrow bought it, by the way.
Arrow, yes, and I saw that today, yeah. That it's 94 minutes long, which makes me go, oh, well, at least if it's shite, it's not 2.5 hours of shite. But the poster for it, right? You despised I Stand Alone, is what it says in the poster.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Right? Can you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, yeah.
No, people didn't really despise it that much, really. It was quite well received. You hated Irreversible. Nope. The people this poster is speaking to didn't hate Irreversible. The people who hated it haven't seen anything else you've made. They just went by accident.
Yeah.
You loathed Enter the Void? No. That thing's had like a lot of special editions. Trust me, I bought most of them. You cursed Love. Love was shit. That's why people cursed it.
Yeah.
We waited for that long. It dropped on Netflix for nothing, and we sat through 2.5 hours of it and went, huh. Oh. So it's a shitter version of 9 Songs, and 9 Songs was shit. Now try Climax. And I'm going, do you know what? Yeah, I will. Because it's 94 minutes long.
Yeah, it's like Sophia Botella doing some dancing and whatnot, isn't it? Or something. I'd go on then. But it's just, I'm not buying it on that poster. I'm sorry, Gaspar. No, stop trying to act like everybody hates you. They don't. The best thing you've done since Enter the Void was your segment in 7 Days in Havana, which you can't get anywhere. Oh yeah, no, the Lars von Trier thing, I remember seeing Antichrist in the cinema. I remember Antichrist being in the top 10 in the UK box office, which was quite something. And it's a full-blooded horror film, that is. It is. And it is up its own arse, but it also does know what it is, and it goes for it full tilt. Now, the house that Jack built, I mean, when he came out the other day and said, like, I don't think the people who walked out of it hated it enough.
Yeah.
Just fuck off. Like, are you actually a 17-year-old art student? Yeah.
No, do you know what he is? He is a 62-year-old man who desperately wants people to hate him whilst at the same time love him and talk about him. He wants to be this really divisive figure that makes fantastic art that people don't understand. But the problem is, people do kind of understand it, and the debate isn't whether or not you understand it or not. The debate is whether or not it's fantastic art or just pointless shite designed to provoke a reaction. He's almost become a Sun headline, and that is not a compliment.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's amazing.
Boring.
Yeah, and it is, and it feels like the world's passing him by. But then again, you would have said that of Spike Lee for about the last 10 years, and then he does Black Klansman, and people are all over it. You know, and Chirac, I thought, was a decent time.
I haven't seen Chirac, but I really do want to watch it. It's one of those films that I've got to make time for. And the weird thing is, 10 years ago, Chirac, I'd have fucking watched it already. But it's just, Spike Lee's become so bogged down in just... He's been hard to watch for the past decade.
It's fucking... It's so
But you really
weird.
like Chirac.
Yeah, I did. It's so weird that he did the Old Boy remake. I mean, that came and went.
I like that.
But fucking hell, Spike Lee directed a remake of Old Boy.
And it was crap.
And it was awful.
But beautifully crap.
Yeah, maybe I should watch that again. But maybe I should just watch the original again. I don't know. It just... This can... As much more than any other can, feels like it's one of those things where it's not about the films.
No.
You know, like because the only headlines have really been about the house that Jack built because there were walkouts, and Black Klansman because holy shit, Spike Lee made a film that everyone agrees is pretty good. That's about it. All this other stuff that's been shown at Cannes, like the new film from the guy who did It Follows, Under the Silver Lake, apparently it's not that great. Ah, well, that's a fucking shock considering it's from the director of It Follows.
It Follows, yeah. It's someone described it as said, it's basically this guy's Southland Tales.
Great. Can't as people can tell, I am giving less and less of a shit about this stuff. And it's fine, but it's almost like we have to talk about it because... The thing is, we have to talk about it because it's the big film thing at the moment, but then it's the big film thing that barely seems to be about films. The Oscars, the big film thing, barely seems to be about the films.
Well, I remember listening to... Because I've been listening to I don't listen to it as much as I used to. I dip in and out more often now. The Kermode podcast. Again, I'm going back like nearly 10 years ago. And I always used to be baffled this time of year, every year, when Mark Kermode would basically say, I'd have to go to Cannes. It's my job. And I know that it's a real... And he did used to say it's a real dick thing to complain about it, but I promise you, it's crap and I don't like it. But I do it for a job because it's my job. And he did used to say it, and he used to admit, I realised that is such a wanker thing to say because people would love to be able to go to Cannes, but I promise you it's crap. And I used to think, you're being a bit of a whiny prick now. I'd love to go to Cannes. And now I'm looking at it going, do you know what? I wouldn't.
No, I think he's 100% fucking right. It looks like a nightmare.
I think he's very right. And it's that thing. And it all boils back down to the thing of, I still like challenging cinema. I still like cinema that... I'm not saying that I'm just popcorn cinema, just give me whatever fucking comic book movies out there or whatever fucking Melissa McCarthy comedy is out at the moment, and I'll happily love that. I still want to seek out cinema and enjoy cinema like that. But the latest you must see this because it's so challenging. It's like, right, why is it challenging? Because... And if you can't give me a good fucking reason, and if it's just because it's the new Von Trier, it's like, right, but graphic just isn't challenging anymore. It's not. it just feels like that if you're trying to provoke a reaction to something just purely by being visual or by being needlessly contrary, I'm just a bit like, can't we have something else? Can't we have that fucking that new film with the guy from fucking Get Out? What's it called? Sorry to bother you. That looks fucking challenging. Without just being needlessly contrived.
No, I mean, Black Klansman looks challenging.
But,
I mean, that thing looks fucking
example.
fascinating, you know? Like,
that's a brilliant example, yeah. That looks challenging. And I'm glad that we seem to be moving into these new voices in cinema who are challenging us in different ways, as opposed to somebody like Von Trier, who, like you say, it seems like movies have passed him by, and it's like, do you know what? You've got to be smarter now.
Yeah.
And at least, you know, it's amazing that the amount of times in that Black Klansman trailer it says from Jordan Peele, produced by Jordan Peele, and it's like, right, that's cool that Spike Lee's kind of gone, do you know what? This guy's kind of got our back, and I want to be working with this guy, despite the fact that I would hazard to guess that Jordan Peele's looking at going, holy fuck, I am working with Spike Lee.
Yeah.
And he should be. Spike Lee made some of the best, most, challenging, movies about African Americans in America in the late 80s and the early 90s.
Mm.
You know, it's only because he went off his fucking rocker a little bit in the fucking late 90s, in the early 90s and the 90s. And he did seem like an angry man shouting at a fucking tree.
Dude, to be fair, he went off the rocker a few years back when he did that Kickstarter film, The Sweet Blood of Jesus. My God.
Yeah, and that was it, and now it seems like he's calmed down and he's channeling that rage that he has and that he's very good at using.
Yeah.
And he's challenging it into what looks like, you look at it and go, oh, do you know what? And Chirac had this a little bit, and I'm now angry at myself that I haven't watched it. You look at it and go, that looks like a fucking Spike Lee movie. That looks like a fucking Spike Lee movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of his movies recently, even going back to something like Inside Man, which was a good movie, didn't look like a Spike Lee movie. These fuckers, that looks like a fucking Spike Lee movie.
I don't know, it's just like, the thing is, these films play Cannes and they get this prestige, but it just feels like culturally there's less and less of a fucking, like, what won the Palme d'Or last year?
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like it's this Sturm und Drang for like a couple of weeks, and then that's it. And it's just like, and it's got it all feels like it's got the cultural significance of a wet fart these days, and it's, I don't know. It's just
movie Coachella now.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. And it just, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, but then again, The Shape of Water won Oscar for Best Picture, Best Director a few months ago, so I should just stop complaining. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Do you know what? Everything probably will be fine, and the good movies that come out of Cannes we'll see and we'll enjoy, and the shite will disappear into the fucking wind, hopefully. But it's just a little bit like, do you know what? It's maybe time for people like Lars. I mean, I don't get me wrong, The House Jack built, I might watch it and go, I thought I was fucking wrong, this is great. And that could happen. But it still won't take away the fact that I think that Lars von Trier as a fucking entity should just fuck off, because he's boring. You know, him turning... Does he still fucking turn up in his fucking mobile home that he used to fucking turn up in? Do that. It's like, you're from a wealthy fucking Danish family. Stop pretending that you're part of the fucking counterculture. You're not. I used to be a member of, what was he, the Ministry of fucking Science or something like that for Denmark. You know, you are a bourgeois prick without the fucking bourgeois.
Well, I don't know. It like you say, it feels like we're at this point where new voices are coming through, and for as much as we fucking get pissed off about, I don't know, like film seeming to have to be focusing on other things, anything other than film these days. But some of this shit that is coming out, like you say, Sorry to Bother You and Black Klansman, I think they're both coming out around about the summer. And to be honest, at this point, they're two of my most anticipated films of the summer. I mean, like if you gave me the choice of Black Klansman or Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, Black Klansman any fucking day of the week.
Fuck yeah! And I'm one of the few people who looks at the new Jurassic World thing, goes, do you know what? I'm fine with that.
Oh no,
I want to see that fucking movie.
No,
but yeah, if you were to give me you've got a free ticket to this or that or Black Klansman, I'd be there going, I'm going to see fucking Black Klansman right now.
No, straight up. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, it's, when Donna and I went, kind of moving on from Cannes slightly, just when Donna and I went to the cinema yesterday for Deadpool, and the trailers that were on, and it just, like, this summer just doesn't really feel that big, and I think it, World Cup summer, so there is that, but I don't know, like, it feels like there's a chance for some, like, interesting smaller films to come through, because what have we got? Like, Solo next week, Jurassic World start of June, Ocean's 8 partway through June, which looks like it could be fun, maybe, we'll see. And
the fact that there is so little buzz about that and it's out quite soon is worrying me, because I actually hope that's quite good.
Yeah, no, quite. I mean, so, but we'll see. And then what is it? Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yeah.
What? Seriously, what?
Mission Impossible.
Alright. There you go. Mission Impossible is the blockbuster I am looking forward to seeing this summer now.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean,
I'm very much looking forward to the new Mission Impossible. That fucker looks good.
I need Henry Cavill to just do fist fights.
Yeah, I saw a tweet from somebody, and I'm sorry I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I forget.
But the one that says, I love the bit in the Mission Impossible trailer where Henry Cavill appears to reload his arms.
Yeah, and they're right as well. Like, you imagine him actually go, chung, chung.
It does. But the thing is, Henry Cavill, I don't get the Henry Cavill dissing. The man oozes fucking charisma. And it's that tash just kind of it sets off the rest of the ensemble, because you look at it and go, it shouldn't work. It really shouldn't work. But it does.
It's weird as well. He's this really cut guy who's this movie star who just spends money and loves it.
Yeah.
But he's also like a really hardcore PC strategy game fan. Like, it's one of the big things he does in his spare time is play strategy games on the PC. And it's just like, I want to spend a day with Henry Cavill where we go working out, we go spending some money, and then we just sit at a desk playing some fucking real-time strategy game.
He said about the real-time strategy thing, where he said that it's, he said the thing that he likes is he likes to kind of be challenged by things. He said, but he spends a lot of time, because of his job, on jets.
Mm.
He said, so what he always has with him is his MacBook. In his case, he said, so he gets that out. He doesn't like, apparently, he said, I don't like reading books on, what is it, if I want to read a book, I want to sit down and read it all the way through. He said, so I'll sit and I'll do that. And I'll sit and I'll do that. And I'll have a cigar and I'll have a glass of whiskey. And it's like, you've turned strategy games into something really fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's
there's an image there, isn't there?
No, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to seeing the reason why he couldn't shave his tash, because Christopher McQuarrie was like, he does the stuff that he's doing at 100 miles per hour and a fake tash will come off. And he's like, right, yeah, I'm in. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
It's... That thing is going to be... That film will be great.
Yeah.
Like, it will be great.
I have ultimate confidence in that fucking team at the moment, and the fact that what a lot of people seem to miss, I've seen a lot of sort of the general kind of criticism of it so far, or the sniping around it is, oh god, really another one where Tom Cruise is playing that agent? You know, how old is he getting now? And it's like, did you not see Rogue Nation, where essentially the whole thing was about him, it becoming more difficult for him doing what he's doing? And, you know, he does get saved a few times in it.
I'm looking forward to some character development in this film, and it does. I like the fact that it's like both from the filmmaking point of view and the story, that it does seem like a direct continuation from Rogue Nation.
It is.
So that's going to be cracking. It's the idea of Ethan Hunt basically kind of going, right, I'm going to do fucking anything I can to get this done. Nobody get in my fucking way. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's great. And I like the idea of the fact that apparently all this stuff is practical, like the last one was as well. And to be fair, I think the one before that was as well, really.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's get this going. I'm going to watch this on a big fuck off screen. I'm going to watch this in Atmos, and I'm going to have a fucking brilliant couple of hours.
Yeah, I'm like that. Becky, every time the trailer comes on when we go to the cinema at the moment, the trailer comes on, Bex turns around and looks at me and just goes, we have a thing where if we watch a trailer at the cinema and it's something we haven't seen before, or even if it's some trailer we haven't seen before, we give each other a thumbs up if it's something we want to see, or we give that kind of the wavy hand movement or a thumbs down. And every time the Mission Impossible trailer comes on, I turn around and look at Becky and she's just got both thumbs up, just shaking them at me.
Yeah, nice. And that's the way. Now, a film that I'm looking forward to.
We've segued quite smoothly here, haven't we? We've kind of come with Black Klansman and the new Mission Impossible trailer without actually going at a trailer. I'm liking this.
I was trying to not mention the fact that we were segueing.
I had to mention that. I got too excited.
Keep the flow. So a film, very good. A film which I'm looking forward to, but the trailer has not exactly inspired confidence, but I'm looking forward to it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I do, yeah. Yeah, I do.
The Predator.
I didn't mind the trailer. I thought it was alright.
The thing is, I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
That's it, I wasn't expecting that either, no. But
Jacob Tremblay is playing with a toy his dad gives him, and then it calls the Predator to Earth.
Yep.
Okay. So it's like, is this... So, like, what audience is this going for?
Well, it's apparently going to be R-rated, so...
It's one of those things where, with a couple of cuts which Fox wants to do, could it maybe go hard 12A?
I don't know. You don't know. You'd say I can't see Shane Black going for that, but then again, you could also see him going for that and saying, "Tell you what, you give us a 12A Predator movie that can make $400 million, $500 million, and we'll give you another $60 million to go out and make X Shane Black movie that you want to make." And he's gone,
Well, I
wonder what I could do with that.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, though, he's already directing this film and he's written it with Fred Decker, of all people. So it's...
Yeah.
I wonder if they've already indulged him quite a bit and gone, yes, you can have your mate co-write it if you bring it in as a... like, with a couple of cuts of PG-13/12A. But then again, maybe not. Maybe this thing is going to be, I don't know, maybe Jacob Tremblay gets decapitated halfway through, or something like that. You know, a boy can dream. But it's an interesting cast, though. I mean, Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, Jacob Tremblay, Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Sterling K. Brown, Alfie Allen, Thomas Jane, Jake Busey.
Yeah.
Apparently Jake Busey is playing... Isn't he
Thomas
playing?
Jane.
Yes, and isn't Jake Busey playing the son of Gary Busey in Predator 2?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. The thing is, that's it. I look at that trailer and go, Shane Black ain't making a movie as isn't making the movie that trailer's showing you. He just isn't. He's making a different movie.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I hope so, because the film that's being advertised doesn't seem that interesting.
No, but a Shane Black Predator movie is. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And then, what do we have? I haven't seen the trailer, but Escape Plan 2 is on iTunes in the US the end of June.
I have seen the trailer.
How is that?
Do you know what? It looks like a solid Tuesday night watch. It looks like if that movie was made in 1991 or 1988 and had Sylvester Stallone and somebody else, what is it? We would be rewatching it now going, that movie is a lot of fucking fun.
I mean, it's Stallone and Batista, isn't it? So,
yeah,
gonna be all over that.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be fun. And Escape Plan 3 and number 2 and number 3 were shot back to back.
Back to back, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, okay.
I'm all for it. I liked Escape Plan. Escape Plan's a fun watch, and this looks again like another fun watch.
Cool. Very good. Very good. Last one for me, I think. Bohemian Rhapsody. It's interesting that Rami Malek, in some shots, is like, yeah, he really looks like Freddie Mercury. And in other shots, he doesn't look anything fucking like Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, and also as well, the voice, I listen to it and go, right, does he sound like Freddie Mercury? Or do I think he might sound like Freddie Mercury and actually in reality he doesn't? I can't quite work it out. It looks a fucking mess. It looks like a very soft serve mess. But I'll be honest, I'm not that big a Queen fan. They're a band where I accept the fact people like them and everything like that, and it's all right. I'm not going to say the shit because they're not. What I'm saying is I'm not a big Queen fan. Whenever I hear them come on, it kind of makes me go, can it go off now? It's one of those. They're not for me, is what I will say.
An officially sanctioned Queen film where multiple creatives left the project because old Brian May and Roger Taylor weren't very happy with the direction the film was going in gives me very, very little hope.
If I don't get at some point in that a midget carrying a plate of cocaine, then I'm going to be fucking... That's it. It's done for me, because that is a story that has been in many people's autobiographies, that they went to these parties that Freddie Mercury was hosting in New York in the 80s, and he would have midgets in various outfits walking around carrying plates of cocaine.
I think the only way that happens is if accidentally there's a shot in it where Bryan Singer's key grip is in the background.
Very, very good.
So, yeah, that's... I mean, we'll see. I like Dexter Fletcher.
I like Dexter Fletcher.
It kind of seems like maybe he came in quite late and just finished things off. So, there'll be a story there. Of course I'll go see it. But like you say, Soft Serve, I think, is the fucking... It's like this fucking Elton John one that's coming that actually I think Dexter Fletcher is directing. And
yes, he is.
Taron Egerton is starring in it. And
yes,
it's like... the thing is, at least with Elton John, he's quite a fiery motherfucker anyway, and he's probably okay to steer into that kind of shit.
Well, he's said that about it that he wants them to make, if they want to make a warts and all movie, they can show his warts. He said because it's pretty much all out there now, and he's never really refuted it.
Fucking A. I mean, that's the thing. With this, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you say, so it's going to be very well polished, and it will look very nice, and I'm sure the creation of Bohemian Rhapsody in it is going to be fucking brutal. Like, it just...
And let's be honest, during when that trailer was going and they were playing Bohemian Rhapsody, in my head, and anyone from... I would say, I'm going to go out and fucking limb and say, anyone from my generation, while that was playing, was looking at it and wasn't picturing the video of Bohemian Rhapsody. I was watching it going, yep, seeing Wayne's World, seeing Wayne's World, seeing Wayne's World, seeing Wayne's World. And that's not a criticism of the song, because it's one of those songs that, in the right context, it's a wonderful song. In the wrong context, it just irks me.
Absolutely. I don't know. We'll see. It'll probably be shit.
It probably will be shit, unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, so we've warmed up.
Oh, I've got a couple of...
Oh, no, well, fuck me. I didn't even ask. That was very rude. Sorry, Mark, go on.
Mile 22,
yes.
from the director of Patriots Day and the other one that was starred Mark Wahlberg. Another one. Looks fun enough. Looks like a Mark Wahlberg action movie. But, one of those crime action movies rather than one of those Transformers action movies. So more in the kin of something like Shooter. Rather than Lone Survivor, that's the movie. Rather than, the Transformers, things like that. So, yeah, it looks fun enough. And, yeah, Destination Wedding.
Oh, yeah. Shit, yeah, I didn't see this.
Right. Now, what we were saying earlier about the Shane Black Predator thing is the trailer didn't look great, but you're looking at it going, well, actually, but it's a Shane Black. It's a Shane Black Predator movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this and going, right, it's a romantic comedy starring Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder, right? Now, 20 years ago, for that, you'd go, oh... okay, fair enough. But now I look at it and go, right, a rom-com about people who are going to a destination wedding that's starring Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder. There's got to be something there. There's something there that has made both of those people go, fuck it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the trailer, it's a good trailer. It doesn't look like it's much more than Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder just being vaguely snipey to each other for, 95 minutes. But you know what? I'm fine with that. I will happily watch 95 minutes of those two just bouncing off each other.
Yep, 100%. Absolutely.
So, yeah, that was the other two that I'd seen.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. I imagine if it's a quiet cinema week, we'll probably review that.
Yeah.
I'm
kind of my brain kind of committed to going to see that at the cinema now, because there's got to be something there. I'm not going to come out of it and go, I just watched a 90-minute rom-com with Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves that was just a rom-com. There's got to be something there for those two people to do that movie.
I hope you're right.
Yep.
I hope you're right. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's do a little bit of Manhunt. So, John Woo's Manhunt. It's on Netflix in the UK, and actually I think quite a lot of other places. It had the bottom at the start, didn't it?
It did, yes.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it probably is pretty worldwide. So, when did you watch this?
About a week and a bit ago.
Yeah, this is going to be fun then. So, right, there's a lawyer.
Yep.
There's a lawyer, and...
he's a pharmaceutical lawyer.
Yes. And he's about to go abroad.
Yep.
To another job.
Yep.
He gets home, and he wakes up in the morning and there's a dead woman in his bed.
Yeah.
The police come, and then he runs. And then a top cop teams up with this a new partner or assistant.
Yeah.
And they track him.
Yeah.
And then it gets a bit batshit in the third act.
Yeah.
Manhunt.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best here. Maximum effort.
Maximum effort.
Mark, what did you think?
Manhunt's fun in a way that I'm not sure John Woo intends it to be fun.
Yeah.
In the sense that this is an action crime thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's not, really, is it? It's more an action crime kind of unintentional comedy, in a way. In the sense that, for some reason, it's some of it's in English and some of it's in Mandarin, and I think some of it might also be in Cantonese.
I'm pretty sure there's like 4 or 5 separate dialects, often in the same scene.
Yeah, and it's and I'm going to do my first of a couple of Argento comparisons, whereas it is a little bit like when you watch the Argento cut of Deep Red, where literally midway through a scene the language will flip, and you'll go, "Have I slammed on a fucking remote? Have I done something?"
But I think when you say John Woo's maybe not intending it, there is that line at the end where they say something to each other in different dialects, and then it cuts to one of the women who says to the other one, "Do you think they even understand what each other are saying?"
Yeah. It's so odd that you're kind of watching it going, this is totally breaking up the serious tone that this movie is going for. It's just a bit odd. And it's Manhunt kind of... And here goes my second Argento comparison. When you have somebody who has started making films in a particular genre that maybe has stagnated and maybe had its time a little bit, and then you get a filmmaker who crops up in it and then is so good at what they do within that genre that they almost like they reinvent it and they become a director who now defines a genre. So you have people like Argento with horror movies, and I'm also going to pull in someone like De Palma with like the thriller, I suppose, would be an erotic thriller or something like a conspiracy thriller, something like Blowout, and films like that, where you get somebody who comes in and makes so many great movies within a specific genre that they become synonymous with that genre. And then when they get older, they try and go back into that genre, and it just doesn't, the magic just isn't there anymore. It just doesn't fucking click. And you end up with movies like John Carpenter's The Ward or Dario Argento's Dracula, and that one that De Palma made with Rachel McAdams and Louis Rapace.
Oh, fuck. It was a one-word title and I can't remember what it was
Passion.
called.
Was it called Passion?
Passion.
Yeah, that. Where, with the exception of maybe the Argento one, but they all have something, but it's not quite right. It's a pale comparison to what they used to do. And it's not that the genre's moved on from them or anything like that, but it's just that they've lost the spark. And Manhunt feels like a John Woo movie that's just kind of not quite there. It's kind of lost the spark a little bit. But it still is enjoyable enough because it's got a pace behind it, the action's fun, the cop character is just fucking weird and he feels like he's out of a different movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fascinated to think what you think about it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the film sets its stall pretty early on, where in that first scene, you've got the guy in the bar with the girl and saying like, "Oh, it's like one of those classic old movies. I have a DVD if you want to borrow it. Yes, I do. And it's like, right, what's going on here then? And literally, he walks to his car, gets a DVD, and is walking back. And it's right, okay, we're in a weird place here. And you've got that first scene, which means absolutely fuck all. It's just this weird discombobulating, right, okay, we're right there, okay, and now we're in this other place, okay. So those girls are assassins, right, okay. And that guy, so did he have a connection with, like, are they there for a reason? No, it's an absolute coincidence that this woman, this guy who was nice to her in a bar, turns out later on to be an assassination target. Right,
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. The super soldier stuff at the end, what the... the thing is, I'm going to talk about a film in what we watched, which is crazier, which is kind of surprising that you get two films that are as batshit, frankly. And I just... But then you've got, in the middle of all this weird, just odd stuff, you've got a fairly by the numbers, entertaining enough, but by the numbers, fugitive-esque thing. But, and, you know, and it passes the time well enough. But then there are these moments that do make you kind of sit up and pay attention. And I mean, like, to be fair, most of the finale does that, because it is just like, right, so they've been stealing homeless guys to inject them with this stuff that turns them into kind of zombie-esque super soldiers. And now everyone's going to converge on this place and try and bring them down. Right. This started with a lawyer waking up with a dead woman in his bed, and now we're here. I agree that I'm not entirely sure. The thing is, it's one of those ones where I kind of wonder if John Woo just kind of turned up and someone else just kind of did everything and he just said action. Because I'm going to talk about it a little bit later on, but Score, a film music documentary, I think it was called, that I watched last week, right? There is a scene in that where Gary Marshall is there doing, he's sitting there watching, I think it was Mother's Day, or, you know, he did that series of films that were based on fucking days.
Yeah, New Year's Eve and Mother's Day.
Valentine's Day. And I'm pretty sure it was Mother's Day. And this guy, God bless him, old as fuck, just sat there, like, just mumbling away about, like, and when this comes up, I want the music to go up. And everybody's just, like, nodding, going, yeah, you know, absolutely. And it's just like, I kind of imagine John Woo being like, and now I want the super soldiers. What super soldiers? The super soldiers. I want the super soldiers to come up and they'll have a fight. Okay, John, yeah, sure. Alright, yeah, we'll make that work. Right, right. Are there supposed to be super soldiers in this film? No. What's this film about? I don't know anymore. Somebody lending someone a DVD. I don't know. God knows. God knows.
It does seem like John Woo, John Woo gave his assistant 3 scripts and said, take those to Netflix, get them to have a look at those, and see which one they want to make. And the assistant has then bumped into somebody, dropped all the scripts, and gone, crammed them all together and handed that in, and Netflix have gone, that's a John Woo film, yeah, fuck it. Give him 50 million, we don't need to read it.
Yeah.
And it's gone back to John Woo and he's gone, don't remember writing this, but I clearly did. It says my name on it. There it is. Woo.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. And by the way, I kind of feel bad now because I didn't realise Gary Marshall died. He died a couple years back as well. Shit, this must have been really close to when he died. When was Mother's Day? Sorry, I know I'm going on a tangent now, but I kind of feel like karmically I just pissed some, like, nature off. Mother's Day film.
Gary Marshall died 2016.
And that film was released in 2016 as well.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Like, God, oh, bless him. Like, it...
Honestly, do not watch Mother's Day.
No, I bet. I mean, Julia Roberts' haircut in that poster alone puts me off. Like, that is a hell of a fucking thing. It just, seriously, if I ever look as old as Gary Marshall does in Score, just kill me. Just kill me. Like, my body doesn't want to live anymore. Like, bless him.
81 he was.
Fucking, how old's John Woo? He's not that old, but fuck.
John Woo, he might be getting up there in, like, I'd say mid-70s.
72.
72, yeah. Just turned 72. So yeah. Manhunt is not. It's not great, but it's not without its charms, I would say.
No, sorry, yeah, it's a message from Noel. He's almost ready to go, so that's good. Yeah, it's definitely not without its charms. I don't know. It like you say, it feels like the work of a guy who doesn't really know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't shit.
I'm not definitely not shit. I think I'm Geostorm with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I'm going to go definitely not shit because I actually feel bad.
That's fair enough.
If I ever watch Mother's Day, I'll give it a definitely not shit because I feel bad now. No, okay, maybe
really don't.
Like, it's just like, seriously, that scene, it's just like, and it's the most fucking like generic fucking music that rises up as well, and it's just like, oh my god, what are you doing? Anyway, yeah. Alright. Before Noel gets on, might get a drink in a minute, but what have you been watching?
What have I been watching? I rewatched the Vacation movie.
What, the new one?
Yes. It's a vacation movie. It's actually, when you put it into the vacation movies, obviously the best vacation movie is Christmas Vacation. Mm-hmm. But it's probably not as good as Vacation, but it's better than European Vacation, and it's probably a little bit better than Vegas Vacation.
I thought the new Vacation was alright.
Yeah, it is, and it held up on a second watch.
Nice.
It's fun. It is fun.
Very good.
We watched Delivery Man.
I'm never going to watch this film. And you've seen it twice.
I've seen it twice, yeah. Yeah, I have. I actually quite like Delivery Man. It's got Chris Pratt in it before he became the Chris Pratt that we all know now.
It's got doughy Chris Pratt, bless him, on that fucking Netflix, on the image on Netflix.
Yeah, it does have doughy Chris Pratt, but he's actually really quite charismatic and quite funny in it, in the fact that he plays the lawyer who is he plays his friend who happens to be a lawyer who is going to represent him in this challenge that he's having from the sperm clinic. You know the story, right?
Yeah.
In the challenge from all these, I think it's 633. No, 533 children, and 142 of them are taking a class action lawsuit to try and find out his identity. And his mate, Chris Pratt, is playing the lawyer there. And he has some great kind of Chris Pratt-y throwaway lines where it's like he's saying, I'm ready for this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. I just need to just reinstate my license. But his mom's like, why do you have a license? Like, that's just something to do with, like, just misrepresentation and just a whole... We don't need to get into it. And the running theme is that Chris Pratt essentially is... You never see his wife in it, but he is a house husband who's there to look after the kids who don't listen to him at all and just treat him like shit. And that every time Vince Vaughn asks him a question about where his wife is, he refers to it saying, she's out sleeping with somebody else. Nice. And it is that all the way through it. But it's this weird movie that at the start of it is very much a generic Vince Vaughn comedy movie, but it does actually have a bit of heart in it towards the middle and the end of it that actually that raises it up a level. It's I've enjoyed it both times I've watched it, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough. Somebody has to.
Yes, somebody has to. And if somebody's going to enjoy shite movies, it's this guy. What else I watched? Happy Death Day.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, I want to watch this. How is it?
It's fun.
Yeah, okay, I've heard. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I won't get too much about the story. What I will say is it's fun. It has a lot of the beats that you'd like it to have. The lead actress, Jessica Roth, is... she plays it perfectly because she's supposed to be... at first I was a little bit worried going, if I've got to spend all of my fucking time with her, this movie isn't going to work for me because she's a dick. But then you very quickly realise, she's supposed to be a dick.
Yeah, okay.
And then it goes and it runs, and it very much is, and it even references it in the movie, that it's basically just Groundhog Day, but set to a horror movie.
Nice. Okay.
I rented it on iTunes.
I've been waiting for it to be the $1.99 rental of the week. As soon as it's that, I'm on it.
I've been waiting for that, but Becky really wanted to watch it. So when it was Becky's birthday, she basically said that we have to watch it. But I still rented it rather than paid $13.99 to buy it. If it had been $9.99 to buy, I'd have probably bought it. But $13.99 is just that little bit too. I don't like paying more than $9.99 for a movie. It's why I still haven't bought Hostiles. Because I know at some point Hostiles will be $6.99.
You're going to have to wait for fucking ages, mate. Entertainment are fucking right stingy
that's a
bastards.
Good point. Yeah, it is those bastards. Well, I'll buy it when I'm drunk one night.
Good man.
And I can justify it by going, well, I had 6 beers and 2 glasses of bourbon, so that's why I bought it.
There you go.
What I will say here is, Happy Death Day is worth a watch, but I maybe would wait for that $1.99 rental thing. Or if it gets to $6.99 to buy, it's worth a $6.99 buy.
Okay.
But what I will say is, iTunes should bring in a thing whereby if you rent it, at the end of it, you can have the option to pay the excess to buy it.
That would be lovely. That would be great.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're going to make the money. They're going to make money on it. Because with that there, if at the end of that they'd have said, all right, it's an extra £6 and you get to keep it, I'd have gone, fuck it, yeah, why not? And, you know, there's a lot of movies where if I enjoyed them and I was in that moment, I'd probably go, yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there was that. I'm rattling through these. I was going to take longer, but I have kind of rattled through them because I don't want to slow us down. Black Snake Moan. I rewatched that.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Craig Brewer's an interesting character in terms of a filmmaker. He was kind of like Black Snake Moan. He was hot shit because Hustle and Flow had been nominated and I think won some Academy Awards. I think, hadn't it?
Best song. Yeah, Hard Out Here for the Pimp. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Black Snake Moan was kind of like the movie made after that. You know, and it had Samuel L. Jackson and Christina Ricci. You know, Samuel Jackson, isn't he? And of course, Christina Ricci was kind of like hot shit at this point. And then you also had Justin Timberlake in it as well, and it had a fucking kick-ass soundtrack, you know, for the time. You know, this real fucking dirty bluesy soundtrack, which was fucking cool. Well, I remember listening to it quite a lot when it came out, and I remember going to see this at the cinema. But I probably haven't watched it in about 10 years, to be honest. It's a fucking interesting movie, is what I will say. There is fucking no way this movie could get made now. Not a fucking hope in hell. But it's a movie about a lot of very flawed people who all have their individual flaws and are all very broken by these flaws. And I think you could look at it from one angle and say it isn't handled very well, and I think you could look at it from another angle and say, I don't think it's handled too badly, actually. I had a good time rewatching it, and it's got a little bit more weight than I expected it to have, but it could have a lot more, is what I'll say.
Nice. Okay, alright, well, yeah.
But it did make me want to break out my blues records as well, so it achieved that.
Well, that's good. To it. Now, before we get into Deadpool, we just finished Mark's What We Watched. I'll talk about my other What We Watched at some other point. And I know Mark said he's going to watch this, but I just need to talk about Batman Ninja to make sure I didn't hallucinate it.
That's correct.
So Batman Ninja. So why is he in like feudal Japan? Because Gorilla Grodd had a machine that sent a load of people to feudal Japan. Cool. All right, fine. It's fucking mental. I don't want to spoil it because Mark's going to watch it. I know you don't have much interest, Noel, but it's.
Well, spoil it, mate. I'm not that invested. You can spoil it.
Right.
Trust me.
So I don't know Batman lore super well. Like, I know the big stuff, but was there ever anything in Batman where the bad guys all teamed up? So you got Two-Face, Deathstroke, Poison Ivy, Joker, Penguin, Gorilla Grodd, right? And they all own or command separate areas of Japan in this. And towards the end, Gorilla Grodd has basically been coercing all the others into making their castles movable, like, vehicles. And then Gorilla Grodd's like, right, I'm going to mind control all of you. And I've actually been working on this. And then all the movable vehicle castles combine together Voltron style into this like 5-piece mega transformer looking motherfucker. That Gorilla Grodd is then knocked out by the Joker, and then it's the Joker controlling this big transformer thing. The final battle is Gorilla Grodd realising the error of his ways, letting Batman borrow his flute that controls a bunch of monkeys.
Jesus.
The monkeys, right?
See, this is exactly why I'm not interested.
I'm not even done yet. Robin has a little monkey mate called Munkachi. And this is why I'm not entirely convinced that it's real. Right. He's got a little mate called Munkachi who teams up with a little female monkey, and then they play the monkey controlling flute. And then the monkey controlling flute commands a load of monkeys to turn into this mega super monkey, which then has a battle with the Joker Transformer, and then a load of bats turn into a massive Batman. And then...
You know what, actually, Ian, just to interrupt, now that you're saying that, this sounds like a direct adaptation of Grant Morrison's run on Detective Comics in the late 1980s.
Fuck off.
No, it doesn't really, I'm lying.
I finished it, and it was like, what the fuck did I just watch? I don't know, it's like some fucking 12-year-old, like, kidnapped a bunch of Japanese animators and said, I'm going to murder you all unless you have Batman and all his, like, big villains have a big robot fight with monkeys and bats. Apparently it's been getting pretty positive word, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't entertained. But fuck me, it's a mess. And it just, like, it's something that just seems to really speak to the really stereotypical view of comic book fans as fucking nerds who just want to see, like, toys smash each other up.
Yeah.
Like that, and it was baffling. Mark, if you do watch it, we'll have a conversation. But fuck me, like, if it's not if that wasn't what actually happened, can someone tell me, just in case I fucking inhaled something?
I certainly will. I'm gonna try and watch it this weekend. Actually,
just Jesus.
I think that Tony Hale.
Tony Hale's Joker
voices the Joker.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Is he all right? Yeah, fair enough.
Actually, there's quite a good line as well where he's like, the Joker's chucking a load of like these like razor-edged fans at Batman in the woods, and he's like, what is the line? It's like, don't you know these are really bad for the environment, Batman? And the Batman says something, and he's just like, well, just stop moving so I can hit you then, and I can stop. And it just, I don't know. It's mental. It is fucking mental. Anyway, Deadpool 2.
It's funny. Sorry, I was just going to say it's funny because there's many reasons why I probably should be attracted to this, especially in that, like, I've kind of said for ages that I think just taking established characters and just plonking them into a situation is fine because that's what comic books do. But the idea that they have to set that up with Gorilla Grodd doing something to send him to a different... It's not necessary. I mean, like, something like Gotham by Gaslight is just a standalone, no explanation, just this is what would happen if Batman was in this place at this time. And I think you can just do that. The problem that I have with this Batman Ninja thing, or not problem, just the thing that didn't really excite me was just when it popped up, everybody just started foaming at the mouth about it just automatically. And I looked at it and I just thought, it looks like hard work, this. It looks like I'm going to be like, it just looks like, I mean, I don't like anime anyway, generally speaking, but it just felt like it'd be hard work.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like the stuff with the Joker. I actually really like the Joker in it, and Harley Quinn's decent. And there's this scene about halfway through where the animation style changes, and it's this weird interlude in the middle of it, which is great. And like, so it's like 87 minutes long, and I enjoyed my time with it. But it did. By the end of it, it was just like, I fucking bet. The stereotypical nerd masturbating in his mother's basement fucking adored that.
Oh yeah.
And and it's just like, I don't know, for all the effort that's put into it and for all the things that are good, I can't help but just think be better. It should be better. Anyway. Speaking of things that should be better, or maybe not, Deadpool 2 is directed by David Leitch and stars Ryan Reynolds, Zazie Beetz, Josh Brolin.
Wait a second. I've got a suggestion. I don't think your listeners are actually going to really know what this film's about. So, Ian, would you go to the IMDb page and maybe read out the storyline from there?
Actually, that is a fantastic idea. And I think it might be the same as on the Apple trailers thing. Let's see, because if it's not, we'll read that one as well. Okay. After surviving a near-fatal bovine attack, a disgruntled cafeteria chef struggles to fulfill his dream of becoming Maybury's hottest bartender, while also learning to cope with his lost sense of taste. Searching to regain his spice for life, as well as a flux capacitor, Wade must battle ninjas, the Yakuza, and a pack of sexually aggressive canines as he journeys around the world to discover the importance of family, friendship, and flavour, finding a new taste for adventure and earning the coveted coffee mug title of World's Best Lover.
Perfect.
So, that is Deadpool 2. And, right, activate Don't Be As Mingy as during the Infinity War review, Ian. No, what did you make of Deadpool 2?
Right. I feel like the comic book movie gods are being very, very kind to me this year so far. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I had the right audience for it. I was very worried about that audience at first. When I got there, it was quite a rowdy audience. Everybody was chatting and talking, and it was very full. This was on Tuesday night as well, so the first day. And I was a bit concerned. I was thinking to myself, is this going to be people sort of having too much fun and sort of overdoing it a little bit. And as it turned out, I think the audience kind of added to it. Just the whole thing was fun from beginning to end, and everybody there got on with, every moment of it. I think there's something for every type of audience. I still think the dick jokes of the first one are there, but there's actually an awful lot more in it for people who want to dig a little bit deeper. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a great time with it. Laughed all the way through. All the way through.
Great stuff. Okay, Mark.
What I would say is I had a similar feeling with my audience. I went awesome as well on Tuesday night, and it was the same. It was in the biggest screen in the cinema, and it was pretty much full. It wasn't quite full, but it was getting there. And so it was an impossibly loud audience all the way through the trailers and all the ads, and I was getting a little bit worried and thinking, oh god, are they going to ruin this for me? But no, the audience got on with the film really well, and like Noel says, it was one of those ones where everyone seemed to be into it. There was no screens lighting up, there wasn't people running to the toilet every 2 minutes, there wasn't a lot of rustling. Weirdly, there was a lot of women on their own watching it. I noticed that, which is odd in general at a cinema. I think that's fair to say. But yeah, there was quite a few, and I'm used to going to watch. I actually went with Becky, but I'm used to going to watch as a guy films on my own, and it not appealing that weird. But it did stand out that there was a lot of women just on their own watching it, sort of dotted around. But I had a blast with it. It's a very, very funny movie. I think it's different from the first, but also very similar to the first. It's trying to do something a little bit different, and I do think that it manages to make the emotional beats land, but also land in a very Deadpool-y way. And yeah, it's a very, very, very funny movie.
Okay, very good. I liked it. I don't think I'm not as into it as I was the first, which I rewatched this week.
I rewatched the first this week as well.
Yeah. The thing is, they're trying to actually be genuinely heartfelt in moments in this film, particularly towards the end, while also trying to be the acerbic, witty, none of this really matters kind of thing. And I think it pulls it off in some aspects and it doesn't pull it off in other aspects. And I was kind of, considering it was from David Leitch, like one of the guys who killed the dog in John Wick, as the opening credits say, and Atomic Blonde as well, I was slightly underwhelmed by the action, in all honesty. And particularly the end action scene, I can't say I particularly remember any of that. And you've got Deadpool. Well, Ryan Reynolds, they're pretty much the same fucking person, to be honest. And that's not a criticism. You got Deadpool saying, "Okay, here comes a CG fight," and I was looking forward to something subverting that, and it never actually came. It was just, okay, there's a CG fight. You've called it out, fair enough. It's still just two CG characters having a fight. So I like Infinity War. Unfortunately, I don't think I was quite as into it as you guys were. I preferred it to Infinity War. I will say that. And I think the big laugh out loud moments in this are better than any of the laugh out loud moments in the first one. But I kind of would have preferred it if it was a bit. The first one's quite smutty all the way through. And speaking as a massive fan of A Haunted House 2 and the excellent sense of humour that obviously bestows me, I could have done with more of that in this one. But it had the Basic Instinct moment, which is one of the funniest fucking things I've seen in years. So
I will watch anything, and I will watch anything, and I will allow myself to be tested to watch anything. I will never look away from the screen during a movie for any reason, usually. But that moment, I genuinely looked away from the screen and went, "Oh fuck me! Oh no, what is happening?" Like that's. I don't even know if that's ever happened to me before. But I couldn't look. It was just, it was so fucked up.
But no, I mean, but it's brilliant. Yeah. So I'm kind of more interested in what they do next than this film, because this film is a perfectly solid sequel. It is definitely not shit all the way. Do not get me wrong, definitely not shit all the way. But the shenanigans in the background now. What the fuck happens now?
I think the problem that they've got, if it is a problem, is that the first film sets up the character, so this is who Deadpool is. He's kind of like Ryan Reynolds, and he kind of pokes fun a little bit out of the genre, and he speaks to the audience and breaks the fourth wall and that type of thing. They set all that up, and now they've really ramped that up and made a film which I think you're absolutely right, Ian, in terms of the sort of action versus comedy. This, much more than the first one, is a film that leans in more on the comedy and less in on the action. For me, I don't think I would say that being this being the director that it was, I was hoping for a little bit more sort of close-up fight scenes. We only really got, I mean, there's one sort of notable close-up fight scene where you've seen Deadpool use his swords, where he's sort of fighting the Yakuza and he's sort of doing his round the world, killings. Yeah. And I think I could have took a little bit more of that. I definitely could have handled a little bit more of that. But for me, this is very much works more as a comedy. Now, I've complained in the past about sort of Marvel movies. Oh, fucking hell, does every Marvel movie have to be just a series of jokes now? Take some things seriously. I think for me, Thor Ragnarok did a little bit too much comedy. But with Deadpool, that's what we're expecting. That's what this is. That's what it's setting itself out as. So as much as I would have hoped for slightly better fight scenes and stuff like that, watching this purely as... it's funny you should mention a haunted house, but the Wayans brothers did cross my mind while I was watching this. The idea that this is the franchise which now owns taking the piss out of superhero movies. You couldn't now do a Wayans brothers sort of superhero movie kind of thing, because Deadpool's doing it smarter and Deadpool's doing it more accurately, and he's getting all the jokes in there, and that some of those jokes might be broad enough for everybody to understand, like superhero landing and jumping out and hurting his knees. Everybody understands that. But then when he sort of highlights Domino's special power and says, fucking hell, who came up with something like that? Probably some maverick idiot who can't even draw feet. That's a joke that comic book fans will get, because they know he's talking about Rob Liefeld. So it's doing that whole thing in a way that's kind of just smarter and better than it's been done before. So yeah, it's more of a comedy, but I think that's what I went there for, and I think as somebody who actually doesn't like the Deadpool comics, this isn't a case of like somebody like, let's say, Doctor Strange. I'm not too invested in Doctor Strange as a character, so I'm not really, I'm happy to be surprised by what they present to me. I'm not really that invested in Aquaman, so hopefully that'll be a fun movie. With Deadpool 2, I actively don't like the comics. I think the style of humor in the comics is obnoxious, but they've got it just, this is purely Ryan Reynolds. They've got it just at a level that's really, really ticking the right boxes for me. So, yeah, as a comedy, it's brilliant. As a comic book movie or a fight or an action movie, could do with maybe just amping up a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I quite like the Deadpool comics from that, but I can absolutely see what you're saying there. They are a little bit too... They are quite acidic, is what I would say.
Yeah, it's always had that sort of sub-Joss Whedon vibe to me. There's a type of comedy that there's a type of meta comedy that when it's done really on a really basic smarmy level, it just kind of rubs me up the wrong way.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that, and I think you're right in a sense that what you have here is Ryan Reynolds has been trying to get a Deadpool movie going before he was in the Wolverine's Origins movie, and he's got a right balance between the fact that the character is Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds is quite interesting, and he's got a good balance of that, and the fact that Ryan Reynolds is, and we've seen this with the whole the fact that the promotional campaign for, again, Deadpool 2 is part Deadpool doing the promotional stuff and part Ryan Reynolds doing it. Yeah. And it works really well, and you're getting the fact that he's a guy who doesn't mind poking fun at himself, but can still do it whilst looking very, very fucking handsome and dashing and all those things. And that's even referenced in the first Deadpool movie. The fact that he calls himself out and says, "Do you think Ryan Reynolds got as far as he did based on his superior acting skills?" But
I have to wonder though that, and I think this is kind of what Ian's saying. They've done the setup now. They've done the really smart, piss-takey, look, this is Ryan Reynolds, and isn't it smart, and aren't we all laughing at the same things together? I wonder where you take that now. I can't. Yeah. They're either going to have to make it more of an action movie, more of a comic book movie, or they're going to have to try and make it funnier. And if they try and make it funnier, I can imagine people getting... I mean, don't get me wrong, I think this is better than the last one, but I think 3 movies and trying to up the ante with the next one to make it even funnier or even smarter, I think they might be pushing it a bit too far, and it might rub people up the wrong way.
I don't know what they're going to be allowed to do. Sorry.
I think they'll go more action film for the next one.
Yeah, I agree. Just because, assuming, say it's 2 years' time, Fox Disney should be a thing by then. They'll probably be looking at getting these guys actually in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is going to be bizarre, just given how Deadpool has been up to this point. I mean, they've been talking about an X-Force film. I mean, I wonder if it would be Deadpool 3 X-Force or something.
Yeah.
Or,
that seems to be
Marvel's Deadpool's X-Force. You know what I mean? Like as a kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. Like, just because... And also, what do you do with the character now?
I think that's it. I think if you do if you want to introduce him into the Marvel universe, there are ways to do it. He was in the Guardians of the Galaxy for a bit in recent years, so that's an option. But I think, you're right. If they do decide to do an X-Force, and the closing shots of the movie seem to nod towards that, if they do that, then it gives them more time to flesh out Cable, which I think they need.
Yep.
More time to spend with Domino, because she was fantastic.
She was fantastic.
Yeah, and I think that allows them to...
Calm down.
No, I won't calm down.
I think that allows them to shift the focus away from Ryan Reynolds a little bit and start to tell a story. The other thing to consider as well is what is Deadpool? Well, he's a mercenary. He's a guy who'll do anything for money, and that is not what this film is. They've kind of completely ignored that and turned it into something else. So maybe there's a Guardians of the Galaxy style story where they are tasked like an A-team to go and do something and achieve something, almost like a sort of, not Suicide Squad, but sort of like, being paid to do the dirty work that the good guys can't do sort of thing. I'd watch that kind of movie, especially. I mean, that would be perfect. If David Leitch, obviously this is going to be a success. If they say to him, "Great, you did a great movie with Deadpool 2, come back and do a third one, do Deadpool's X-Force or whatever," say to him, make it more action, make it more of a street level, bad guys doing the things that the good guys can't do kind of a job, and we'll take it down that route. You can still have your jokes, but just make it a little bit more I don't want to say gritty because that's not the right word, but just make it a little bit more of a crimey caper kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's what the thing is. They've been really smart with it so far. The first two, in the sense that a lot of the pitfalls that you thought they could go down with it, they haven't gone down. They haven't. Like I said, they've avoided repeating themselves for a start off too much. It's made by people who have got a cushion of going, do you know what? We don't need to do this. We didn't sign on for fucking 2 or 3. We signed on for 1, then 2, and then if we want to do 3, we'll do another one, anything like that. And it's very much. I think the interesting thing is it's a different director, and it still works. It's not. It's being led by the star, not the team, I suppose, in that, which is quite an interesting dynamic with it. I think if they did do, or is it they would, just personal view, I think they would go more action film, because they'd be able to share out the action between Reynolds, Brolin, and others throughout that, and it would allow Reynolds to kind of step back and just do the comedy bit a little bit more, and allow sort of more of the heavy lifting to go to people like Josh Brolin. And even saying that, but Reynolds has a physicality that can lend itself to that. But it would be interesting to see if they A, do bring him into the Marvel, the MCU, or B, how he would fit into that, and which one they'd bring him into, and how much they'd bring him into it, or would it be just a token fucking scene in one of them where he gets told he isn't allowed to swear or something like that, or you just see him doing something in the background. I don't know. There's something going on, but it's a movie that's just having an awful lot of fun with itself, and at the same time inviting the audience to have fun with the film. And like I think you summed up there, Noel, there's comedy there for everybody running through it. So the jokes are coming thick and fast as well, and the weird thing is, if you're watching it with an audience, not every joke has to land with everybody, because you can have that raising chuckle where there's some jokes that are going to land with everybody, but then there's some that will land with the different little pockets over, and there's some where I was going, oh God, really? But the rest of the audience were really fucking laughing. And there was other jokes, like the, somebody who can't draw feet joke, where I had a good chuckle at that, and a few of the little pockets of people had a good chuckle at that. And then, because everyone else is chuckling, you'll get people who will chuckle at it and be going, I don't know what people are laughing at, but it's funny, clearly. Which is fine with an audience in that.
That's the people in the audience are going, it's funny, because I can't draw feet either.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, the weird thing is, more people stayed for the post-credits in this than fucking did for Infinity War.
I've got a question. You were both in very full screenings then, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you stayed through the mid-credits, let's say, which I guess we'll talk about. What happened at the very end when there was no end credits?
Everyone laughed.
Did they?
A lot of people in my screening laughed.
People were really, really gutted in my screening. Like, people were genuinely like, no, and then there was all this muttering. Like, it's amazing what a world we live in now, where this is not only expected, but we sort of feel cheated if we don't get it. It's like you just had 2 of the best post-credit sequences you could possibly have wished for, and probably some of the best cameos that we've ever had in any superhero movie or any movie ever. And what the fuck? Was so intense. And another person, as I was walking out of the screen, I wanted to punch the guy, because I was so happy at what I'd just seen. And I was walking past this guy, and he was saying to his mate, he was like,
oh, we've lost you now.
Hello? No.
Hello?
We lost you for a second there.
You hear me? Yeah? Sorry. I was just saying, like, as I was walking out, this guy turned to his mate and said, oh, I can't believe they didn't say I'm a juggernaut bitch. And I thought, come on. Like, is that really a complaint?
Yes, I was fuming. It was me. Did you notice in the credits at the end it said the voice of Juggernaut as himself?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Who played the Juggernaut? I don't even know.
It was CG, full CG.
Yeah, but who's the voice?
No. I mean, who's the voice?
Voice.
It's not on the cast.
No, it's not on the cast. They credited as
I bet
himself.
it was Ryan Reynolds.
I bet it was fucking Ryan Reynolds. Or Hugh Jackman.
He's not even listed. I mean, the character isn't even listed on IMDb. That's weird.
But yeah, the cameos were pretty great.
Oh. Yeah, so should we talk about those then? Because
yeah, go on.
Right, there's one that I'd forgotten about until today, and it's crazy that you would have access. This is how confident this film is. It's crazy that you would have access to this caliber of actor and have his cameo be so short that you kind of question yourself when you're watching it. Like, when the face popped up on screen, I genuinely went, oh, fuck. And then it went, and I went, hang on a minute, did I actually see that? And then everybody started laughing, and I was like, oh, it must have been Brad Pitt then. Because it was so fast. Like, just, yeah.
Yeah, Brad Pitt as... Because the thing is, with Banishee, you're expecting it to be somebody. You know it's going to be somebody.
Yeah.
And then when it crops up and you go, what? And you do kind of question yourself and go, was that Brad Pitt? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's
literally, because it was just literally that one shot, wasn't it? I didn't miss anything else there. Yeah. That's bizarre.
Yeah, and the X-Men fucking, what is it, all having the conversation bit in the room was a good chuckle.
Mm.
Well, apparently nobody on the internet knows who did the voice of Juggernaut.
No, quite. It's bizarre.
Yeah, I'm reading something on the Radio Times, and they're just like, yeah, nobody knows who it was. Crazy. It'll come out.
Yeah. It'll come out. It's going to be somebody really fucking random as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to look. Nah, fuck it. Can't find it.
Oh, wait, I found it.
Who?
Christopher Plummer.
Oh, fuck you.
Was it? Christopher Plummer?
No. Could have been.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Mark, did you just believe him?
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed in you.
Would with Deadpool, would it surprise you?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Fair. Yes, it would surprise me if Christopher Plummer was the Juggernaut in Deadpool 2.
It wouldn't, mate. It really wouldn't.
Yeah, alright.
So the other cameos, or there's one key one, I guess, in there, which was extremely unexpected and very well timed.
Who?
In the mansion, in the X mansion.
What?
The X-Men?
Just all of them. Yeah, because you said one cameo, so it was like, who's the one?
Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah, having them all there was that was quite a little treat.
Even though now I wonder what's going on with the timeline.
Oh, fucking hell. It's the X-Men, mate, and it's just all bets are off.
Yeah.
There isn't a single movie in the X-Men franchise that makes sense of the timeline. They're all over the fucking... yeah.
Fair point.
I mean, to be fair, even the fact that in one scene he's walking through the Xavier's house, and he's got his back to Professor Xavier as played by James McAvoy, and then he goes and sits down in the other room and puts Cerebro on his head and says, "It smells like Patrick Stewart." Like, it's fucking all over the place.
That's a fair point.
Which I think is entirely intentional.
Yeah, why not?
It was a shame about Terry Crews. Would have liked to have seen him more. That was weird.
Yeah. The fact that he did he have like 2 lines in it?
Well, pretty much, yeah. And I mean, like, I don't know, Rob Delaney. I'm glad he lived at the end. That was nice.
He did, yeah.
Technically,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. It's like, so now, is Vanessa alive again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
The funniest part about that though is clearly, spoilers for Avengers Infinity War coming up, folks. Clearly, the next Avengers Infinity War, they are going to use the time gem to go back in time and fix the fact that all the heroes died. And it's like, well, sorry, Deadpool 2 already did that now. In a throwaway joke at the end of the movie, that's exactly what Deadpool 2 did.
Yeah, the Russo brothers are pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, fuck it. They shouldn't be going for such lazy fucking let's have a massive cliffhanger at the end where everybody's dead, but then just do a massive reset button in the second one, then. Should they, Noel?
Comic books, dude. Comic books. It's fine because comic books.
Yeah.
Any negatives? Because I didn't like the death scene at the end. I didn't think it was funny, and it kind of
It went on for a very long time.
Way too long. Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I kind of liked how far it went on, because I was thinking, right, he's clearly not going to die, so I'm interested to see how they're going to make it so he doesn't die. Are they basically going to have him just go, nope, wait a minute, this call don't work, does it? I'm not dying. Or are they going to use the stone to bring you? Is it going to use the clock thing to get him back, or what? And I was just wondering for that, and I was more waiting for that. So I was on board with how long it was taking.
Do you know what I was really surprised about though? Because I thought I had the ending figured right out when he was dying, when he was lay on the floor dying, or supposedly dying. So he's laid out on the floor, supposedly dying, but you know that he's not going to die, because obviously he's not going to die. But earlier on in the movie, Monica Baccarin's character, I've forgotten her name, Vanessa, she's said to him, your heart's in the wrong place, when she was sort of in, the other world. Your heart's in the wrong place. And he got shot in the chest. So I was absolutely nailed on. I was like, oh, right, well, this is the bit that we find out, because he's been chopped up and thrown around and, mutated and all this stuff. His heart's in the wrong place.
I actually really like that. I wish they did that. That's cool.
Yeah, I
100% thought that that's what they were going for. And then it was like, oh, no, you're going to use, Cable's going to use his last time. What? Really? Just his heart's in the wrong place. You already said that. Like, I thought that's exactly where they were, I mean, foreshadowing and everything, but I guess, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
So I was surprised about that, but didn't like the death scene.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't know. I don't feel like I was as high on it as you guys, but I also don't feel like I've got as much shit to kind of like bring up. It's just, I thought it was a really solid 4 out of 5. But like Deadpool is kind of more like a 4.5, even maybe inching towards a 5. Like I find that film very, 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 very entertaining. I found this like very, very entertaining. So it's minor strokes there. I like lightning is kind of struck twice. Can it strike 3 times? I hope so.
I hope so. I think the problem, as I say, for me is that I preferred this one, and I think it was just that the character's established, and now they can just let him fucking run riot. And I think they absolutely let him run riot in this film, and I just wonder how much you can push that and how much you can get away with. I think, as we've said, there are ways that they can alter things a little bit to help ease into a Deadpool 3. But, the other thing is a lot of that is reliant on one person, and that's Ryan Reynolds. Not only that he, is willing to do another one, I'm absolutely sure he is, because clearly he's fucking laughing all the way to not only the bank, but just to a career. This is going to make his career. I don't doubt that he'll be back. My question is, yes, we now need maybe Deadpool to slip into the background just a little bit and let some other characters come to the fore, and will that be possible? Ryan Reynolds seems like a really lovely guy, but this is absolutely his baby, and he is fucking on top of the world at the moment, and I wonder if I hope he's not the type of person to allow it to kind of turn him into a bit of a dick.
Well, he's actually mooted that the third Deadpool will be less Deadpool.
Well, he did. He did say before this to whoever, he did say to some blog or website or whatever, when asked about Deadpool 3, I think he said something like, I think I do think there'll be a sequel, but I definitely think it'll be exploring the team and how the team go on, like an X-Force. Like it'll probably be more likely X-Force than Deadpool. I think he was alluding to the fact that everybody knew that this film had a team in it, but obviously we now know that team didn't last very long. So it felt like he was making a joke. I don't know. Like I say, at the end of the movie, there's very clearly a team dynamic there, isn't there? So.
I mean, this movie essentially has helped launch his production company and has got him a pretty sweet production deal with Fox off the back of it.
Which, by the way, the fact his production company is called Maximum Effort, I'm a massive fan of that.
Yeah, it is. And do you know what their first big proper film is? Because it Maximum Effort Films, it was attached to this. But do you know what their big first film is? Clue. The Clue remake.
Oh, really?
He's the first big Maximum Effort film with Ryan Reynolds in it, and he'll get obviously other people.
Didn't somebody remake Clue?
That's the remake that's coming up now.
I thought there was. What was the one with? What was the one with? What's his name? Jude Law in it. Jude Law and Michael Caine.
Oh, fucking hell! No, Sleuth.
Oh. Sleuth.
Sleuth. Sorry, that's it. Yeah, get mixed up. Yeah, because Sleuth was a remake, wasn't it? Of
yes.
Sleuth. Yeah.
Sleuth is the most blue movie you will ever see.
But not the good kind of blue.
No, it just has a really blue hue throughout the entire thing that's really disconcerting.
I remember the poster being quite blue as well.
It is. The entire movie is.
Yeah. Yeah, the 1970. There was a 1972 Sleuth with Laurence Olivier and that. Yeah, anyway, different movie. I'm getting completely mixed up.
Very good. I think we're pretty much there, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
It's very definitely not shit from me.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for Noel, but I think he's also going to say definitely not shit.
I think that's very clear. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Very good. And I'm also on a definitely not shit. So. Strong. Mark,
what are the comic book movies have we got coming up? I mean, fucking hell, what, Aquaman? Is that it?
No.
It must be something between...
Aquaman and the Wasp.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Is Aquaman this year?
It's July,
December,
isn't it?
supposedly.
Oh,
is it? I thought it was later.
Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman's December, sorry, yeah.
Aquaman is December.
Yeah.
And we haven't even had a fucking poster for it yet.
Well, there's no Star Wars movie, is there? So I guess they're trying to jump in there. Maybe
it'll be all right. It's James Wan. I trust.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Aquaman. Yeah, December. Fucking hell. December the 21st. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, like you say, James Wan. I've got full trust in that chap. Fucking hell! I didn't know fucking Patrick Wilson, Willem Dafoe, Dolph Lundgren, Nicole Kidman.
Fuck yeah, man.
I'm very much up for that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman's in it.
I don't think I knew that. Okay.
Okay, very good. Very good. Do we have any questions?
We do not, no.
Well,
I'm gonna start asking myself questions again now.
As I said at the start of the show this week, fuck our audience. Noel, can you guess how many downloads we've had of the Greatest Showman commentary track so far?
54.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
How many?
3.
Is it a paid for thing or?
It's £1.
Yeah, well, people don't like paying for shit. I've learned that the hard way.
That was brutally honest. Thanks, Noel, for joining us this week.
Never write a book, folks. You're not going to get it.
Do you know what? Yes. All right. Let's just lay our fucking cards on the table, right? How fucking hard is it to, like, create something and then make money from it?
It's very difficult.
I mean,
what I will say, Noel, 2 things.
Yeah.
1, I have read your book. My daughter has read your book. And your book actually contributes every week to Dude and a Monkey.
Oh, God. How's that?
Nope.
Is your laptop on it or something?
Yeah, my iPad is resting on it because it sits on a cushion, and your book is exactly the right size for it.
Perfect.
That feels that's perfect. That is perfect.
That's why I wrote it. So
it does there. But I have read it, and
it's what I always hope.
Sorry.
But yeah, it contributes. It's more than just a great read.
Well, yeah, it's also a great laptop stand.
Yeah. Well, that's the most important thing.
The thing is, in all seriousness, though, it's I never wrote a book to make money. I never started a podcast to make money. I wanted to do it for the fun of it and for the love of it and stuff like that. But nowadays, I'm only 2 episodes into the revived Adventures in VHS, and I'm already really struggling to find the time to do this 3rd episode, and I'm already like the best part of a month behind on it. So first of all, apologies to anybody who is listening to that, because I am totally running late, as is usually the fucking case with me. But it's hard, man. It's really hard to find the time and the energy to put into this thing. So when you do put work and energy into something and people aren't kind of willing to pay with a quid or whatever, I can imagine it can be quite disheartening. But, it's you've got to try and keep focused on the reasons that you do these things, haven't you, I guess?
Or you can
Absolutely.
just say, fuck them. One or the other. Anyway.
Which we kind of frequently do.
yeah, and I...
Why is nobody downloading our thing, you cunts?
Quite. They love it. They love it. They wouldn't be listening otherwise.
No, they wouldn't have got this far if they were that easily offended.
No, exactly. Anyway,
I don't know. You take what you can get. I mean, even just this week, I got a piece of feedback from a guy called Uli Walther from Germany, who sent me an insanely long email about the return of Adventures in VHS, and it was just really, really, really nice.
That's great.
Just his entire sort of backstory about why he likes the show and what speaks to him about it and stuff like that. And I got a lot of stuff like that from the book, like from people getting in touch, going, this is my story, and this is why I elevated towards this podcast and this book, because I grew up with this and with that and with this and the other. So you don't get a lot of that type of thing, but when people do engage, it does matter to us, and it is, it does validate it, because you go, fucking hell, great, somebody got something out of that. It was worth doing for that one guy, for that one person out there that now uses my book as a laptop stand. It's good to know that it was worth doing. I'm going to remind you of that all the fuckers.
I'm fine with it.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, that was a fun show. I enjoyed it. If any of these people listening didn't, fuck them. So
what are we covering next week?
I don't know. What the fuck's out?
What's out?
Star Wars.
Oh yeah, Star Wars is out. Shit. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally. It's solo. It's out on Thursday.
That's out tomorrow.
No, next week.
Oh no.
Oh, next week.
Next Friday.
What
What's
coming
out
this coming week?
What?
There must be a.
What
There must be a.
Deadpool
Wayne.
did?
No,
Oh, yeah.
what if we're recording like Monday, Tuesday? What we're recording on there?
Hang on, what are we recording on Monday, Tuesday? Fuck me, we're recording on Monday, Tuesday. Oh fuck, yeah, we probably are.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know.
What's out?
Well, fucking nothing because Deadpool's out this week.
It's not a
So
Dwayne Johnson.
confusing.
I'll tell you what, should we do another commentary that no one fucking downloads?
Probably. We'll do something.
Wait, guys. I've got you. Like, let's see what's on.
There ain't anything going up against Deadpool, is there?
That's what I just fucking... No, you don't listen to me, Mark. You don't love me anymore.
I do. Love you more each day.
Oh, bless you. Fucking...
I Feel Pretty.
Fuck off.
No.
Life of the Party.
No. Well... No, no, fucking, we're not going to review that, Mark. Like, its time is gone.
Well, I think there's still selected screenings of the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peels Pie Society. God, that's difficult to say.
We could review Sherlock Gnomes. I already saw it, so, that's on you, Mark.
I don't think it's playing there, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course it's fucking not. It's only a kid's film that came out last week. Of course it's not playing anywhere near you.
We'll cover something. We'll work it out.
I don't know. Let's just finish off A Way Out. These fuckers will actually have to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, fuck that. We'll do that instead.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to finish A Way Out this week.
And then we're going to do Solo next week.
And then we're going to do Solo next week. Hopefully we'll get Steve on.
Yes, we should be getting Steve on, yeah.
Hopefully Steve would have listened. But to be fair, Steve's been listening for so long that I think he's probably been told to go fuck himself by us on hundreds of occasions in the past. So I'm sure it's water off a duck's back. We would love to have Steve on.
He's our Star Wars correspondent.
Indeed. And then he won't be on for 18 months, apparently. Steve could come on whenever the fuck he wants, by the way. It's just, apart from when Noel comes on, because they hate each other.
That's not true.
No. That's not true.
I think if we ever got into a conversation about The Last Jedi, though, that might not go well.
Oh my god, I would pay money. I would pay to hear that. You guys do a commentary of The Last Jedi and you will make more than we make in a decade.
It'll probably just be like 15 minutes of yelling at each other and then complete silence for the remaining time.
You just hear like a brief scuffle, the muted noise of someone dying, and then a door closing.
And just then when you watch a movie that you love and somebody else hates, just that awkward silence of just, right, we're going to sit here for 2 hours and you can fucking well hate it because I'm watching the end of this.
And on that note, we'll be back at some undetermined point in the future for Solo. Noel will be back with us for Ant-Man and the Wasp, I assume.
Yeah, I'm in.
And if he sees anything else, Noel's welcome to join us whenever he wants. So, I'd have him on every week if we could, but he doesn't want to do that. Because he
don't watch any films.
He costs too much.
Yep. we blew our budget on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got more books to write because I don't like the way Mark props up his iPad at home, so I'm going to come up with an iPad shape for my next project.
Yeah, it's got a hump in it.
You should just release it on iBooks, so then he has to buy an iPad to prop up.
No, my next book is going to be more practical. It's going to come in the form of like a skillet or something.
You've been on good form tonight, though. That's very strong. Bye. Fuck off. Bye.
Bye.